Hey guys, what's up? It's MEKK-KNIGHT TCG here with my Invoke MEKK-KNIGHT deck profile for February 2020. I wanted to show you guys my current variant of the deck, and as you can see, Elysium is there. And let's go ahead and talk about it. I'm going to give you guys some deck options later on as well. For a lot of people asking me, did my deck change for Ignition Assault? And it did originally. But then the meta turned into Shadal's, and that's why I had to make some different choices in a very short amount of time. But we're playing 3 Alistairs, we all know what he does at this point. For the MEKK-KNIGHTs, we're playing 3 purple, 2 blue, 1 indigo, banish the search upon as many in your opponent's column, and moves cards around. We're playing the 1 Prankatops as well, because that 1 doesn't hurt to see. We are still playing 4 hand traps, 3 Phantasmes. I need to draw, I need to fix my hand a lot, and I don't think Lynx, even in Master Rule 5, will be going away, so he's perfectly fine even as a side deck choice later on. 2 Ash and 2 Ogre to finish off my hand traps. Not maining draws, as great of a card as that is, I feel like you're only really hitting spirals, which is not that big of a deal, and I feel like you have side deck options that will be better suited than a draw lock, personally. For the field, I'm playing 1 Terraforming and 3 Meltdowns, no Severation, no Mystic Mine. I was trying it out, I feel like it clogged my deck up more than it was helping me, and just overall I feel like Mystic Mine just gets popped too easily. But against a Shadal match, they don't main deck any back row hate, so it could alone win you the game. For the fusions, we're playing 3 Invocations because I don't know, I hated 3 originally, but when you start playing with 3, just having the ability to draw Alistair and an Invocation feels really good. Continuing on the fusions, we're playing 3 instant fusions. Thousand Eyes and Millennium Eyes is amazing. And also you can super poly your Raijin or your Caliga, and then super poly them with your opponent's stuff to make Elysium. That doesn't happen very often, just a little neat choice. So I'm running super poly because of the whole, I guess, abundance of Shadal Invoke in the meta. And if they end on Caliga and Appaloosa, you're able to super poly it away into Elysium. Or if they have Caliga and any other extra deck monster, you make Elysium. And honestly speaking, that is amazing. You wipe their board, you get an insane monster on board. 3200 attack, 4 heat defense, with an amazing quick effect. So yeah. However, really quickly, gonna push this to the side to show you guys something. If you are not too keen on super poly right now, it does eat up a lot of extra deck slots. Here is the Ignition Assault, I guess, option. I was playing Kaku. I unfortunately had to take him out for polys for my personal locals. If your locals isn't very super poly friendly, I guess to say, Kaku is great. You're able to go into true king of all calamities with him, or just extend off a lot of plays. This is a great option. We'll show you guys a small little combo at the end of the video, so keep an eye out for that. But yeah, super poly is my choice in that case. Continuing off in the main deck, we are playing 2 Pot of Desires. You need to draw, you need to see cards, and if you banish Alistair, it's fine. Whatever, you have your Alistair Link. Just get Invocation, you'll be okay. We are playing 2 Call by the Grave. I know some people want to play 3. I don't think 3 is correct. I think the format right now, you can play 2. 2 is fine. The ability to protect your plays or take away your opponent's plays later on or early on, perfectly fine. And I don't want to play more than 2. I think 2 is enough for me. Especially since you're going second, you don't want to open up with 3 of them. That would just be bad. While we are playing 2 Cosmic Cyclones, you need some kind of back row removal. Your deck doesn't have any inherent way to stop like Mystic Mine, or if you open up, a Cosmic Cyclone and your opponent has 1 back row and it's super poly, you pop the super poly, congrats, you win the game more than likely. We are playing 2 Mind Control. We are still going second deck after all. And 3 Impermanences. I get that Impermanence isn't as good right now in the format due to Spiral's targeting protection. But sometimes you need to take the risk, and Impermanence more or less wins me games. It's also a trap card in case Macabre. For whatever reason, someone uses a trap card while I have Macabre on board. For the extra deck, this is where I will also talk about some options. So for the fusions, Invoke, more or less, we're playing 2 Macabres. I would not want to make this 1, and I don't want to make this 3. I think 2 is fine. 2 Purgatrio, again, something that a lot of people don't do. I see a lot of people play 1 Purgatrio. I like 2 because I can link climb with him very easily. And just overall, I always feel like I want a second one every time. So, Purgatrio. 1 Raijin. Raijin has been fantastic in terms of, I play 0 win targets in my entire deck. He really only comes up because my opponent has a win target in their graveyard, more or less a lot of the time. Also, like I mentioned, the instant fusion target, the ability to summon him, book him later on, or book something that my opponent has. Sometimes that is more valuable than Thousand Eyes. It just depends on the situation, and again, you can make Elysium using the Raijin. And then 1 Caliga, because again, Darks. You can super poly him using your opponent's monsters as well. And the Elysium, which I mentioned and I've been talking a lot about. This is a much heavier Invoke build than I have done prior, by a lot to be honest. Usually this has been my Invoke engine, just these 5. These 2, I would say, if you are not playing the super poly variant, you can cut out Elysium. And I will show you guys some options for that in a second. For the super poly targets, we just have honestly Elysium, Caliga, basically the Invoke monsters, and a Starving Venom. Honestly, it's still a very dark attribute heavy meta, so there. Quick little options for those, I guess 2 to 3 cards. Linkuriboh, Decode, and Dingirisu are all 3 good options. If you want to, cut out these 3. These are interswappable, it just depends on what you want to do. Right now, I took these out. I am playing these 3. Just something to show you guys if you are not interested in Super Poly. For the instant fusion targets, you're playing the Thousand and Millennium Eyes. For the links, 1 Almirage, 1 Gardna, 1 Cross Sheep, 1 Alistair Link, and 1 Moral Sword. And that is it. As I mentioned, if you do want to cut out the Super Poly targets, you have more link options, but these are what I've chosen and what have been working for me. Have been winning quite a few games with that. For the side deck, again, as I say in every video, this depends on your locals and the meta, but 3 Nibiru, I still want to make sure combo decks don't pop off too hard. 2 Twin Twister, back row is annoying. 2 Dark Ruler No More, combo decks are annoying. The 3rd Super Poly if I feel like it's needed. 3 Evenly Matched because I want to make sure my opponent just doesn't play Yu-Gi-Oh! 3 they're calling me 1s because if I'm going first, I don't like the artifact engine. I feel like having that 1 potential brick, which is why also I'm not the biggest fan of the Gamma package, might just end up making me lose. So they're calling me 1 I can play around it. A lot of decks cannot play around it and can shut off a lot of plays really fast. So I've been okay with this. And finally, Red Ruicud's only at 1. So I want to show you guys a really quick combo in terms of going first with this deck. This is not going to be with the Super Poly variant, unfortunately. So I'm going to go show you guys what the play is to make this Calamities. So it does require a little bit of cards, honestly speaking. We are going to need Instant Fusion, and an Alistair primarily, and a Gizmek. So, you are going to Instant Fusion into Millennium Eyes, because again, we don't know if we have any other cards in our hand. This is kind of all we have, Millennium Eyes. Alright, that is done. Put this to the side. Normal Summon Alistair. Alistair will get your invocation, and in the worst case scenario, you can always block an Ash with Millennium Eyes. Alright. You will then, got a little bit of a mess, activate Kaku. Kaku is an activation to summon, so you will summon him. You will then link off the Millennium Eyes into a Linkuriboh. Where is he? Sorry. Make a Linkuriboh. We are losing prime real estate over here. You will then link away the Alistair into a Almirage. Almirage will get linked away into Secure Garden. Then you will activate Invocation, banishing your Secure Garden and Alistair into a MEKK-KNIGHT, wherever he may be. Bam. And then you will activate this to return Alistair back to your hand. And this is where, if you are fortunate enough to have another invocation in your hand, this is assuming you have a second one. If you do not have a second one, this is where you just either stop your play or make the TFT. But if you do have a second invocation somehow from your draw phase, you will now link away these two into a cross sheep. Cross sheep would have an open zone over here. Activate invocation using the Alistair from hand and the MEKK-KNIGHT from graveyard. You can also just chain this to make MEKK-KNIGHT ready for you. Link it away into 1000 to banish it for invocation to get back in later. Make your second MEKK-KNIGHT. This is a very risky play, but a lot of times if you're going first, you just win off of it. This will trigger cross sheep to bring back your Millennium Eye. So this should be your board at the moment. Then you just equip into TFT, and then you pass. So you have a Millennium Eye interruption, you have a cross sheep for later on, and you have a TFT, which on your opponent's turn, you just detach the MEKK-KNIGHT, and call, I usually say light, I feel like light is usually the most generic one, and there you go. You have a board, and then on your turn, you just switch this into attack mode, activate the invocation in graveyard, normal summon Alistair. Link these three away into Boral Sword. I would usually call light so they can't Nibiru me. So you would have a Boral Sword, and then you have a Purgatrio, and you just game. So, pretty long-winded combo. Sorry guys, I have a small screen, as you guys can see. I didn't really adjust the camera, unfortunately. But that is a very great combo if you want to go into the Kaku variant. However, if you feel like you want to play safe, you don't need to go into that. You can just go into the Super Poly and just not play something like this or this. I hope I made a good explanation. If I didn't, I'll go ahead and make a more in-depth video about it. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Take care, and see you guys later.